We are threads of light, weaving through the night, tied to the stars, to the ones out of sight. Every touch, every tear, every laugh, every fight. We are threads of light. We are threads of light. In the crowd, I hear your voice in the hum, the echo of you in the beat of a drum. Every hello carries someone's goodbye. We're all walking shadows of a love that won't die. I reach far, I reach wide, feel your warmth on the other side. We are threads of light, weaving through the night, tied to the stars, to the ones out of sight. Every touch, every tear, every laugh, every fight. We are threads of light. We are threads of light. We are threads of light. On the wire at dawn, black wings shoulder to shoulder. One call and the flock moves like a single holder. They know the winter path, they know the hidden field. They keep the herd among them and never break the seal. If one falls, they turn. If one calls, they come, carrying the ember till the dark is done. Raven circle, hold me in your ring. Raven circle, teach my heart to sing. One for all and all for one, under moon and rain. Raven circle, call me back again. They trade the same bright glance like secrets past in code, guarding the young ones close on the cold and open road. I saw them on the fence like elders in the wind. No king above their huddle, just the vow to not unbend. If one turns left, the whole sky turns. If one keeps watch, the whole night lies. Raven circle, hold me in your ring. Raven circle, teach my heart to sing. One for all and all for one, under moon and rain. is black and bright. Maybe every soul needs shelter in the long blue edge of night. So when I lose my way, let the old swarm find me. I'll follow that dark blessing where the wild ones find me. Raven circle, hold me in your ring. Raven circle, teach my heart to sing. One for all and all for one, under the moon and rain. Raven circle, call me back again, back again.
Hey everyone, welcome Ravens. How are you all doing? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Let's have a show of hands actually. How many people are here from the UK? I've seen a couple. Tammy, good to see you. How are you doing? Bitch666, good to see you. How are you doing? Steve Spear, how are you doing? Good to see you. Scorpio Moon, how are you doing? Great to see you here. And who else we've got? Mama D, how are you doing? Good to see you. Sue, your producer cat looks so much like my fur baby. Oh, are you talking about my 'cause people do get them mixed up, Moose and George. George is the half Bengal, tabby looking one, not the orange one. Tara, great to see you. Thank you as always for doing a great job. Susie with an S, good to see you. How you doing? Jasmine, how you doing? Sue, how you doing? Sarah McMath, how you doing? Tammy, said hello to you. Just to say thank you to a couple of people who were gifting jewels on the way in. Thank you so much to Little Devil. Thank you. And Bitch666, thank you. And we've also got, twice actually, Bitch666. Thank you. It's super generous of you. Kelly, good to see you. How you doing? Did you do it 3 times? You did, I think. Sorry, 4 times. You're so generous, honestly. Thank you. You do not live up to your name, Bitch666. You certainly don't. You're super kind. Thank you. In fact, I can't keep up with how many times you've donated. But thank you. So as we know, sorry I haven't said hello to everyone, but just know I'm welcoming you all in. As we know, Coco, welcome. How are you doing? Good to see you. As we know, I'm going to be doing a reading today on the camera tripod with the camera. The poor tripod thought it was having its 5 minutes of fame until it realized that yet again it's all about the camera, not the tripod. So I did read on the original post that was made regarding this situation, which was actually made by someone who works at the University of Idaho, and it was posted on the 23rd of November, 2022. I think it was 2022. I don't know. It doesn't actually say the year. By someone called Nick Rabus. And he said, I just found out my remote photography group has video from a tripod that was stationed behind the house. It recorded from 8 p.m. I presume that means 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and shows a woman running from the side of the house as a truck entered the driveway. She ran away from the house and right by our tripod at approximately, almost but not completely accurate or exact, roughly 2 a.m. And a group member removed the tripod, and I don't know who has the video. It is the group's right not to disclose why we record, but we would send in recordings in special circumstances. So we don't know exactly what happened from that point onwards, but if it was sent in, we know nothing about it. It just makes me wonder if he actually viewed the footage. And if he did, why has he not mentioned anything? I don't know. But anyway, interesting post. So we're going to be doing a reading on that. And even more exciting is, which I think if anyone watched the live stream yesterday, I did tease this. Hopefully it's still working. Oh, look at that. So you do get to see the cards. I'm going to change this layout first, though. That one? No, the other way. Sorry, guys. I think we need that. That's better. Is everyone happy with that? I have actually been testing this out today. I recorded a private reading and I did Aries September. So, and there's the little, I'm not going to keep that in the shot. It's not necessary, but true intentions. And as always, just to remind you guys, I won't be engaging in the chat while I'm doing the reading, but I know that you will be well looked after by Tara. And I think there's a couple of other mods in the chat as well that might be able to help out, possibly. That's a cool view, Sue. Thank you, Tammy. Obviously, I will respond if there's any urgent questions or anything. But for now, I'm going to remove the chat from my screen so I can't see it, but I will see anything that pops up on the screen. So we have loan. Okay. I'm in need of financial assistance. Now, what I'm hoping is going to happen here is that I'm going to be picking up the energy that was captured on the camera. So I'm not entirely sure what the loan business is about yet. And we have misunderstanding. Things got lost in translation and taken out of context. Direct communication will clear the air. It's tricky. It is tricky because whatever was captured on that camera may have been very fleeting. We don't know. It's not like I don't feel that I'm going to be capturing someone standing in front of it having a good old conversation, you know? But then let's see what happens. Next deck. What do I want to use? Let's use the keywords. Keywords Oracle. Thank you so much, Fatal Redaction. That's super kind of you. Thank you. Let that one go. So we have these two here. We have jam, stressed in life, a new start in life, caution, change direction, feeling stuck in a situation, situations will not work out in the future as planned. Look at the positive side of a sticky situation. And it also says in a jam. I do find it a little bit odd, I have to say. If there were things, and there clearly were things going on that night, I mean, how disguised was this camera? I presume it wasn't just out in the open, because if it was, you would think that someone would have done something about it, knowing that it could have potentially incriminated people. I just, I'm presuming it was well disguised, or if it was hidden, then I don't know. I have questions, put it that way. I do have questions. Change direction. I'm seeing change direction jumping out from this card. And we also have, okay, I'm going to have to really think outside the box for this. We also have turtle. Turtle, peace, resolution, fertility, protection, persistence, determination, patience, pace yourself, taking life slow. Feel at home anywhere. Emotional strength, remain true to your path. So turtle is like retreating into your shell, can again give me energy of hiding. Did this camera capture someone hiding deliberately? I think you can see the camera when they're all standing on the road outside 1122 while the police are inside. I just find it odd that no one would have, at any point after whoever's responsible, and there's clearly more than one person, that at no point they would have not only spotted the camera if it was that out in the open, and if they had spotted it, surely they would have done something with it. But like I was saying, this is something about, it's almost like it's captured someone that was trying to hide, is what I'm getting. I know we are aware, or we've been told, that allegedly it's captured someone running, but I'm picking up something else. Because it would have picked up more than just a person running past it at 2 a.m. If it was that out in the open, it would have picked up way more than that. And according to this post, it was set up from, did he say from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. It would have picked up loads of things, surely. But let's carry on. Next deck, what shall we use? I'm going to use the this is the Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle. I know that a few people have looked for this deck and they have a lot of difficulty. So I'm trying to remember how I found it, but I think you have to go to Abundant Life Tarot, which is listed here, I think. And it's a print on demand deck. So you have to, it takes you to, you don't have to do anything. It will be on the website and then you have to order. You can either get the deck in, I think it comes in different sizes. So you can get the deck in, you know, or you can get all of the deck together, which is what I did, which is this version. There's a lot of cards here. Don't ask me how many, but yeah, if anyone has been looking for this deck, you can get it. Okay, so we have meeting. Oh, wow. Okay. So was a meeting captured? That's me saying it's unlikely that they're going to see two people having a conversation in front of the camera. Meeting. I mean, it may not be directly in front of the camera, but maybe picked up something in the distance. See, I always thought the camera was set up behind the house, and I keep hearing people talking about it in front of the house. I always imagined it was set up behind. It says on that post, it was a tripod that was stationed behind the house. And also, apparently, it was sent to the Idaho State Police. And that group, that particular photography group, was removed from Facebook for violating policies. Interesting. And we have alone. So we have meeting, alone. Who was meeting? Who was meeting? Let's do just for a bit of fun, let's do the Who Is It deck. Where is it? Not who is it, where is it? Who is it? So we could get an idea of identity of who was meeting or who was captured on the camera meeting. So we have mature, someone mature. Don't pay too much attention to the actual characteristics on the card. Just the wording probably will suffice. Mature, square face, mature square face. Again, don't pay too much attention to whether there's masculine or feminine. Get a feel for it. Pull that down. Who's got a square face? Mature. So we're not talking about, we're talking about meeting, a couple of people meeting. We're not talking about the students themselves because I suppose you could look at the word mature and say, does it actually mean older or does it mean someone who's emotionally mature? I have to go with my gut instinct at the beginning, and that was that it was someone older. Square face, mature and skinny. Square face, mature and skinny. Let's keep going. Give me something specific. Give me something specific. There we go. Okay, it says markings, but I think we could say that could include tattoos. Could include tattoos. Markings. It's not jumping out at me yet. Don't forget I believe we're looking at one person out of two, maybe. Let's keep going. The next deck. I haven't done this one for a while. This is the Echoes of the Soul Oracle. This one is a strange old deck because it is in two halves. So you've got these picture cards, like so. And you also have the kind of written meanings as well on separate cards. So what I'm going to do is, instead of searching which card matches which, I'm going to pull one of each. I don't really care if they don't match. Okay, so we have the weight of the worlds, or the weight of worlds. Key themes are responsibility. You probably can't read this, but I will read it to you. Responsibility, introspection, cosmic connection, personal alignment, releasing burdens. The message is you carry the weight of many worlds, each representing responsibilities, experiences. Sorry, this is the tripod talking, I think. Anyway. Each representing responsibilities, experiences, and dreams that shape your inner cosmos. But not every burden you bear is yours to carry. Just as the universe exists in harmony, your inner world must find its own balance. Sorry. Pause, reflect, and let go of what no longer serves you. Align your thoughts and emotions like planets in orbit, allowing space for your light to shine unimpeded. Remember, within you lies not only the past, but also the vast potential of the future. Okay, so jokes aside, take time. Thank you, Tara. I know, I feel bad. Can you imagine? We're very lucky that we don't live that life. Take time this week. Okay, that's not it. The reflection of this card is the weight of worlds reminds you that while responsibility is part of life, balance is essential for growth. Your inner universe thrives when each element, your thoughts, emotions, and actions exist in harmony. I'm not getting it. I am not getting it with this card. But I'm not giving up. Don't ever give up on a card. Sometimes it all just makes sense. So let's pull a picture card. And this is the veiled, well, there you go. The veiled watcher. The veiled watcher. Now, here's the question. Is the veiled watcher the camera itself, or is the veiled watcher the camera capturing someone lurking in the shadows? Because I've already picked up something about someone hiding. And was someone hiding because they're watching the house? Why would they be out in the open watching the house? Let's move on to the next deck. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one more oracle. I'm going to do the vocab deck, my old favorite. The director's here. Just thought I'd let you know. You've got your food, hair director. So don't. Just you be quiet. You're lucky you're not a tripod. Right. Vocab. Okay. So we have ancillary. It's the theme of cooperation. Ancillary and paragon. Ancillary, secondary, supplemental. And paragon is a perfect example. Secondary and supplemental. Why am I getting law enforcement vibes from that? Like there's... Be on your, you know, like be on guard, get ready just in case we need you. I don't know. It's a weird one. And then we have the theme of conformity, repertoire and indigenous. Repertoire, an array of skills. Anyone thinking what I'm thinking? Indigenous. Originating or occurring naturally in a particular place or a native. Straight away it gives me Nick Mowich. Is this who we're talking about? Are we talking about capturing Nick Mowich on the camera? I mean, obviously we're not, at the moment, we're not talking about the female that allegedly ran past, but what we are talking about is this person. And does this describe him? Square face, markings, mature, skinny. Maybe it does. Let's read these examples. Ancillary. The War of 1812 was ancillary was an ancillary contest of the Napoleonic Wars. So it's an afterthought. That's so interesting, the fact that ancillary is there, because it is, he had an afterthought, according to what I've picked up, is that whatever he went there to do, he ended up doing the opposite. And then the paragon is a perfect example. A perfect example of what? The example here is, to the ancient Greeks, Hercules was the paragon of strength. Wow. And then we have examples of repertoire, which is an array of skills. Naval warfare was not part of the repertoire of Spartan military strengths. And indigenous, which I've already said, but the example is the indigenous Maori constitute about 1/6 of New Zealand's population. Let's just leave that way up so you can see. Fascinating. I'm going to pull a couple more of these. I love this deck. It's so, it says so much. It talks to me. Okay, we are going to go through these because that has jumped out. So let's see. We have the theme of geography and domicile and juxtapose, which means domicile, a home or household, and juxtapose is to position side by, oh my God, to position side by side. Positioning something or someone side by side within the household. Are you kidding me? I'm a bit blown away by this. Because I honestly don't believe that Nick Mowich was the one who did that. I still don't, and we are obviously talking about Kaylee and Maddie. But what I haven't figured out is, did the person, well, no, I have figured it out. The person that took their lives was not the same person that staged them. I don't think. Oh, I don't know. But what I do know is it wasn't Nick Mowich that did that. So why has it come up? Let's carry on. We have the theme of courage, gravitas, intractable. Gravitas is dignity, and intractable cannot be managed. The example of gravitas is Washington's gravitas was so great that he was addressed as His Excellency. I think they were watching Mowich, and that's how they knew he helped. Maybe. Maybe. But I also, thank you, Hibiscus. My train of thought has just gone again. Hold on. Yeah, I also don't think he was alone. If Mowich was there, he was not I don't think he went there alone. He wasn't working alone. So who was with him? And I definitely get the feeling that he was hired to take out one of the girls. It wasn't. He wasn't hired to take out Ethan. I think it was Maddie. I think he was hired to take out Maddie. He couldn't do it. And then we have despot. Wow. And tyranny. So now we're getting into the realms of, with this this example with gravitas, someone being addressed as His Excellency. And then this card is a despot, which is an absolute ruler. And tyranny, tyrannical ruler, someone who is ruthless. That was coming. That's his, you know, who he answers to. And the person that probably took care of that situation, whoever that might have been. Are we sure the other perps didn't turn on Mouch? Did he leave MM alive? Well, from what I've seen, he tried rescuing her, but didn't get very far. And I don't know who turned on him, but someone attacked him and he tried to escape, and that's why he was found, or why he, you know, wherever he ended up in the emergency room with what they said was car wreck injuries. Whether that's, you know, I don't know, but and then we have indict and reprimand. Indict, to formally accuse. Again, these are not crime related cards, guys. These are just vocabulary. Average. I get the same. I could do the same just by opening a dictionary. Indict, to formally accuse, and reprimand, to scold. Someone here, what this is pointing towards is whoever this person is that's the power, the ruler, whatever you want to call it, did end up getting indicted. Not for this, obviously, but for something else. But they would have been conveniently let off, just like so many other people. So I don't know who this is. It's not not Molly. It's not Emma and Demetrius. It's someone way higher up than that. Story I've heard is that Marich tried to stop Kopaka and he was going nuts on everyone. That's how Marich got all cut up. I don't believe that. Yeah, I think Kopaka is very divisive. There's some people who believe he's guilty and he had something to do with it, and there's other people who think he had nothing to do with it. And I am in the he had nothing to do with it camp from doing a reading on him very early on, a bit like Koberger. But Kopaka supposed to have shouted, "I didn't kill those kids," before they exactly. I mean, how true is that? We don't know. But I believe he knew what happened. I think because he had IT skills, he could hack into Surveillance cameras, and I know, listen, we say, what surveillance cameras? Maybe there were cameras in that house that we didn't know about. And maybe he saw stuff. Maybe he heard stuff. Maybe he didn't have to watch the house directly. Maybe he just knew what was going down. Don't know. JJB, possibly. But I've done reading on JJB, and if he was involved from a distance. He did not get his hands dirty. But JJB could be the person that is the person in command, definitely, of this situation. Which also explains when I picked up so many times about something was planned but did not go to plan. Was it this? But was there also a simultaneous situation going on? Sana and Ethan also was something that got out of hand or something that wasn't planned. There's like two situations converging here. And then we have extrapolate and obviate. Extrapolate to extend a principle in a new way. And obviate, which means to remove the need for something. Fiscal, relating to finance. Voracious, having a great appetite. Someone who has a great appetite for money. So these cards seem to be alluding to something more organized than, all the way through. We're talking about mature person, not a student, something organized, something else that this camera, either the camera's linked to this person or, I mean, of all the people that would, I find it very strange. If it's going to capture anyone, it happens to capture someone like Mowich, who probably has his wits about him, who is probably trained to look over his shoulder every second, literally every second, and he wouldn't spot something like a camera. I don't believe that either. It's, I don't know. Nuance. So we've got nuance, imperceptible, nuance, subtle detail, subtlety, and imperceptible, undetectable. So according to this, he wouldn't have been able to see it. That's what this card says, is it was very subtly placed and it was undetectable. How could it be undetectable? It's on a tripod. I suppose it's easy. Is it easy to miss if your mind's on other things? And then we have the catastrophic and fruitless card. Catastrophic, disastrous, and fruitless, which is futile. And again, this is just showing that he tried. That to me is like trying to save someone, but not succeeding. And that ended in disaster. Certainly did for him. According to legend. Guess what I've got to do? The disclaimer. May as well do it now. This is a psychic reading. I use oracle cards and I use tarot cards, and occasionally I get messages from spirit. I interpret these messages in my own way, and you may interpret them differently in your own way, and I encourage you to do so. I'm not claiming any of this to be factual, nor am I making any accusations. This is all just for entertainment purposes. Sorry, better late than never. Let's do a few clarifiers. And I'm going to use you posted it. Oh, thank you. It's always good to say it as well, though. Thank you so much, Tara. This is the Dark Mansion Tarot. I want to get the full version of this deck. I kind of love it. I'm loving this deck at the moment. Probably my current favorite. Okay, so what do we want to clarify? Let's see. The first two cards were a bit vague. So we've got loan and misunderstanding. So misunderstanding about money. Seven of Pentacles reversed. This to me is about a loan not being paid back or someone chasing a debt. Can't quite see that, sorry. Someone chasing a debt. Someone getting caught that wasn't prepared for it. It's like, I don't know, I'm seeing this situation of, you weren't expecting to see me, were you? And they're catching someone, whoever this person is, they're like, yeah, you know you owe me money. And they've caught them unawares. Now, I don't think the camera caught this, but I think it may have caught the audio of something, not necessarily the video of it, but I do sense audio being picked up. And we also have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. I don't know who this is. It's not coming. It's not jumping out at me. Look at that, 10 of Swords. Someone, whoever the Queen of Wands, I don't know why I'm being shown the Queen of Wands, because to me it's about one of the people that lost their life because of the 10 of Swords coming out afterwards. Or is the Queen of Swords responsible for one of those people? It's almost like, and it's been a while since I picked up on this, the female energy in the group, because there's a group, there's a perpetrator who seems to have female energy that I've picked up in the past. And it's like this person gives orders. And when they give orders, people listen and they do as they're told. So was this potentially the order given to Mowich to take out, I don't know, to take out Maddie? Punishment for being a snitch. And then the misunderstanding also makes sense because it's, so we have the jam and the turtle. Sounds like a weird fairy tale. Stuck in a situation. It's stuck in a jam. Out in future as planned. And then the turtle, which is protection. You know, again, the turtle is about protection, but it's also about hiding. God, I wonder if he actually knew her. I mean, there is a chance of that if you think about it, because of the connections that the Mogans would have had. You know, Maddie's dad would have had connections within the drug industry, and perhaps they knew, you know, they knew each other. Perhaps Mowich knew or recognized Maddie. Oh, gosh. So I'm not going to clarify these identity cards. The meeting card. Meeting alone. Let's do those. Meeting alone. So we have the Seven of Swords, which is kind of trickery. It's like meeting someone for the purposes of what's the word I'm looking for? Gosh, I can't think of the word. But is whoever was meeting with someone was lured there for other reasons. The other thing, and I don't know why I've always picked up on this whole female energy running past the camera. I've always thought it was Maddie because of the fact that she tried to escape. And it could be possible that Mowich has found her, obviously in the house or wherever they happen to be, realised who she is. And this also makes sense with the whole fairy tale thing that I was given from Kaylee. And then he said, look, just go, run. I'll just pretend that you ran and I couldn't catch you. And she's run. And eventually, obviously, she's caught by other people eventually. So that also makes sense to me. I don't think it was Bethany. I don't think it was Dylan. If a female was captured. Makes sense time-wise as well. Because Kaylee's always told me that they came back. Am I right in saying that they were at the grub truck around between 1:30 and 2? And then, or was it later? Maybe it was later. I don't know, but you can't trust timings anyway with this case. Yeah. And then the Veiled Watcher. Which comes in with the, I need my glasses, comes in with the sun in reverse. Under the cover of darkness, the Veiled Watcher. Who is this? Because this could be completely, when I say unrelated, I'm kind of assuming, oh, maybe it could be someone else that's just been a bystander that happens to have seen it all, but was also captured. I don't know if that makes sense. So it could be, say, for example, someone like Showalter. I'm not saying it was Showalter, but he could have been lurking in the shadows, not seeing the camera. the cameras captured him, but he's also witnessed everything going on as well. I'm not saying it's him, it's just using him as an example. The Eight of Cups reversed. Should have walked away, but they didn't. They should have walked away, but they didn't. They stuck around. And again, I'm not picking up Nick Mowich for this. It's someone else. Crime and Chaos. Braun was the first person I thought of when Turvey mentioned Ethan's fist and the 6 to 8 inches of dark blonde hair never tested. Yeah, potentially. But I've kind of been shown it was someone else. I was shown from Xana that it was Dylan's hair. I've always just thought it was really weird that they happened to set up a camera that night. Has anyone ever asked if this was a one-time deal coincidence? Because I don't really believe it. But then you have to question why. What's the point in the rumor if it's not true? It's like it feels like there's truth in it, but maybe that's not the true situation. It's like, in case something comes out, this is going to be the story that we captured something on a, on a independent camera that was set up. Because then that way no one can locate it or I don't know how to explain it. Wasn't there an astrological thing happening in the sky that night? I don't know. I have no idea. Probably. I mean, there's astrological things going on every night in the sky. Sorry, that's one of my hairs. It's a bit yucky. But there's definitely something weird. Definitely the energy that night was, something was off. It kind of, sometimes it reminds me of, werewolf energy kind of thing. I know that sounds a bit bizarre, but the fact that there seems to have been this like complete lack of control among some people that is kind of inexplicable. Full moon energy, literally. Right, so these, I just want to see what stands out here, even though I feel like they have told their own story. I don't know if I need to clarify these. Does anyone want me to ask a question before I close the reading? Let me just, sorry, get my chat back up. She must have seen Xana, and as she knew she was in her underwear and sweatshirt. As in Dylan. Yeah, she showered and she had her hair all clean and well, presume it was washed, but she had it in braids, didn't she? Which was interesting. Was this a dark ritual, and what is behind that? I don't know. I don't know if it was ritualistic. There's something going on with Ethan. Some kind of, I feel like there was some kind of premeditated punishment situation going on with Ethan that got out of hand. And whether that became something ritualistic, I don't know, in the moment, potentially. But there was frenzied energy. That's what I keep picking up, is like, if allegedly this was Peter E., he just ended up in a frenzy and he couldn't stop. Similar kind of thing with the Xana and the Dylan situation that I was shown. It was just, that was mental, what I picked up from that. The Dylan and her friend or friends energy was, I don't even want to think about it again, because it was just horrific. Wild Animal doesn't even cover it. Mass hysteria. Exactly, Lissa. But I don't know, a hysterical, violent woman is probably more scary than a hysterical, violent man in some way. Law enforcement must be involved. The only reason a cover-up of this range happens is if there are, exactly. This, the level of cover-up is because exactly what I've thought. It's either because law enforcement are involved, law enforcement and students, because then the university wants to cover it, law enforcement wants to cover it, the politicians want to cover it up, you name it. And everything comes back to the university. That is the core of the town, not just the town, but I think the surrounding area, you know, that funds everything. So over Moscow, there was a bright meteor fireball associated with the peak of a northern torrid meteor shower. It lit up the Pacific Northwest early in the morning on November 13th, 2020. That's interesting. It's the first time I've heard about that. That wouldn't have been what Bethany claimed to see as a flash or whatever it was she said she saw. Okay. Is it meteor showers? That's usually quiet, isn't it? It doesn't come with any, like, there's no noise anomalies. It's just a light show, I think, if I'm right in saying. Jeff has just proven why Brian said he's, there you go. Wow, well done. Maybe that's part of his, because Brian also had evidence apparently that proved, well, not proved, but definitely went a long way to why he wasn't, you know, why he was watching. I'm sure back in, yeah, it was visible at 4:36 a.m. Look at the timing as well. The 4:36 a.m. is like, that's really weird. Why are they like, why has this crime been lined up to be almost exactly okay, it would have been earlier, but exactly the same time? Cookie's Corner. No one listens to me, I swear. I've been yelling that for years because the alibi is solid to me. Yeah, it really is. And everyone's laughing at him. Not everyone, but people that thought he was guilty. Like, couldn't you come up with a better alibi? I live in Washington State and watched it. That's crazy. Is there any truth to a camera on a tripod being out there? Then maybe it was for, maybe, but then you would think it would be pointed at the sky, if that was the case. Exactly. They do think we're stupid. Glad to know the other astronomy nerds are shouting and noticing. Good job, Jeff. Exactly. See, you learn something new every day with this case. I certainly do. I'm still learning stuff that people have known for years that I just haven't been engaged with. So it is a what's the word? Faceted thing, this case. You know, sometimes we're picking up people like Mowich. Sometimes we're picking up people like Dylan. Sometimes we're picking up people like Showalter. Sometimes we're picking up the police. Like, what is going on here, people? There's a peak meteor shower tomorrow in the same place, Lissa. So glad his alibi was thrown out. Okay. So let's just get this back. Here we go. Yeah, multifaceted and mind-boggling. So mad that his alibi was just thrown out and laughed at. Exactly. People didn't, I mean, clearly, like myself, people did not know. People did not know. So much is hidden. Writing Bethany's first public post in 4 years in her painting of the lake where BK was that night. Oh, wow. That's interesting, isn't it? That's almost like a passive clue she's trying to put out there. Well, I did hear about this actually with the Bethany post, but that was a little while ago, I believe. It was definitely before Brian retracted his plea. I think I'm right in saying. Was she there? Taurus, who are you talking about? Was she there with him? Are you talking about? Are you talking about was Bethany with Brian? That would be a twist, wouldn't it? Wow, I didn't hear about that. Brian needs attention. She's been doing loads of paintings. Yeah. And how I mean, I suppose it could be explained that I mean that to me is again it speaks volumes, the fact that Bethany feels comfortable with, you know, being out in, when I say being out in public, but actually posting something in public. To me, that's kind of like saying, I'm okay, you know, I don't feel unsafe as such up posting something, but very much not the case with Dylan, who is still very reclusive as far as any, you know, any online activity goes. Thank you so much. I need my holes 4. I need my glasses. Holes 644 for the jewels. That's super kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, and it was Bethany that had exculpatory information. Exactly. Cookie, Toothany. You're so funny, honestly. I love your little nicknames for people. Toothany leaving breadcrumbs instead of stale biscuits now. I think she's scared into silence. Yeah, I just, she's a baby and married. She is a baby. Sorry, she's not a baby. She has a baby and now she's married. Fair enough. Could Bethany have been dragged into it all by Dylan, maybe even threatened? I don't know if she was dragged into it premeditated, but I think whatever went down that night, like I said, wasn't planned for. And because see, again, this is a complex situation, because I've always picked up the fact that Bethany wasn't there at the time. But did she rock up in the middle of something happening? So she's kind of caught what's going on, almost got involved, almost ended up also being a victim, which is what I picked up in a previous reading, and they've spared her. But Dylan's got something hanging over her head by saying, oh, I don't know, you were here exactly the same as me. You could be equally as guilty as me. What makes you think that you're going to get away with it? It's that kind of thing. And she feels vulnerable. Bethany feels much more vulnerable than Dylan ever did, for all of Dylan's dramatics, amateur dramatics. Bethany always felt more vulnerable, more traumatized than Dylan ever did. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. You know, they're all guilty in some way for not speaking up or speaking out. But then again, would you, if you knew that that you'd been threatened to never say anything, that yourself or your family could be at risk if you did? Oh, put that back up again. The Lenny comment. Have you watched Birdie's live from this past Friday? If not, you need to. Accomplished. Sam has linked that name to this case. Which name? Thank you, Mother of Dragons. Bethany's a healer. Dylan tried her best to recall all she could from that night before, did better than I would, but learned that see something, say something also comes with cruel social media attacking you. Yeah. We do know that Bethany expected to be exactly. She expected to be arrested, but and everyone kind of jumps on that and says, therefore guilty. Why would you think you're going to be arrested unless you were guilty? Unless law enforcement themselves have made her feel threatened, deliberately made her feel threatened. Like, I don't know. It's weird that she would feel like that when Dylan was the complete opposite. Dylan was looked after like a baby, literally, by law enforcement. And I don't, I vaguely remember Bethany's interview. It wasn't hard going at all. But then, have we heard everything? Probably not. Bethany expected to be arrested, hence her question to the police in her interview. Am I going to jail? She wanted to know if she was going to be home for Thanksgiving, didn't she? She thought she'd be detained. But did she think she was going to be detained because of the level of questioning? Or did she think she was going to be detained because she was going to be arrested? I don't know. There's so many, when you look at it on a grander scale, there's so many reasons why she would be in that state, and to me, it felt genuine. Her emotional, her reactions felt genuine, whereas Well, Dylan wasn't emotional, first of all. During her interview, there was no real emotion. The emotion she put on immediately after outside the house, I just didn't buy it. I didn't feel it. It kind of makes me cringe a little bit when I watch it back. It's like, oh, stop, please stop. And like I said, with Bethany, there's so many different ways to look at it, that she's witnessed something horrific. Guilt, survivor's guilt. I don't know. It's like, it's such a complex situation. Bethany said the next day she had expected Kaylee would have made fun of her and Dylan for being scaredy cat because of what they thought was some kind of cruel prank. Yeah. Absolutely. Lisa calling 911 at pretty much 4 a.m. or for the next 8 hours on the phone would have been a lot more help. Exactly. It just, nothing adds up at all. I was talking to my daughter yesterday because, as some of you know, she's not well versed about this case at all. She doesn't know really anything about it. And it isn't one of those cases that you can just sit down and tell someone in a half-hour conversation, because there is so many twists and turns. There's so many, to try and get someone's head around it is very complex. And anyway, she's ex law enforcement herself, but having said that, she's also after she worked for law enforcement, she also worked for a company who actually investigates the police over here for police, there's a word for it, not necessarily corruption, but oh god, my mind's gone blank today, apologize, but police wrongdoing or whatever you want to call it. So she has delved into both sides of it, and she said, look, I'm gonna, because she's modded a couple of times on a live stream, and she's now kind of hooked and she wants to know what it's all about. So she was going to watch the Netflix documentary, and I just said to her, Nat, I'm telling you now, because this, before I'd watched it, I didn't know, but I said, I'm telling you now, it's probably the same old bullshit that they've been feeding us for the last 4 years. Whatever you watch, please take it with a pinch of salt. But she's watched one episode. She hasn't watched the other two. And we were kind of talking about it last night after the live stream. The only thing she said, and she was questioning a lot of things just from that one episode. And I was like, thank God for that. But the only thing she said to me was, she said, I will say one thing though. He has got really scary eyes, Mum. And I said, look, I said, he's autistic. I said, he hasn't got the filter, like normal people stare at someone, they catch you staring, you look away. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have the filter of knowing when to shut up either, according to people that have spoken about him. He doesn't have the filter of when not to ask a question that's like, can feel intrusive or know your place kind of thing. There's all these things which are just traits of autism or whatever, because I don't know if it is autism that he has. It's is it Asperger's? I don't know. But I said, she said, obviously I'm not going to just say he's guilty because of his eyes, but you can understand why, when people started off feeling like he's guilty, like most people did, as soon as the guy was arrested, everyone kind of assumes they've got the right guy. Why would you not? And then you look at him and you look at the pictures and you look at his art and you're like, oh my God, he's definitely something not right there, before you know anything about him. And that's it. It's ingrained into your mind. And I get that. I do understand that. But then those are the people that don't bother doing any research or read any documents or, and I think we all need to keep an open mind, not just the people who think that he's guilty. I think we need to as well, because we still don't know. Nobody knows. The only person that knows, well, the only people that know are the people that died and Brian himself, whether he did anything or not. So, and you said you don't see that when you look at him. Some people do, some people don't. I hate to say it, but I've noticed many people have eyes like that when I suspect possible MK Ultra. Yeah, there you go. I think people were watching him at his sentencing hearing, and he was, seemed like he was a void of emotion for the things that were being said to him. But to me, that was proof that he wasn't guilty. The fact that he didn't seem affected by it is because he wasn't guilty. That to me proved it, But yeah, serial killers have eyes like a shark. It's not very nice to the sharks. Beady eyes. Lovely ravens, please swoop down on the chat and leave your DNA. Yes, please do. Please do, though. Please press, hit the like button. Only if you have liked what you've seen. Don't expect you to do it if you haven't. But I wonder if it has the same impact on the algorithm if you dislike. I wonder. I'm not saying try it, by the way. Don't, but poor sharks, exactly. Poor sharks. They get a bad rap, sharks. Soulless. Sadly, many similarities on the surface between psychopathy and autism. Very true. Easier to discern when you have a loved one with autism. Exactly. Yeah. You are loved. I'm misunderstood. Have you read Chicken? No, I haven't. I haven't read Chicken Boy. It gets difficult, because when you've read so many people and potentially so many people are all potential perps, you're like, do I want to read another one that could be another potential perp? This is just getting out of hand now. I feel like, I'm not saying I wouldn't read someone if I felt, there's definitely something going on here, I need to read them. I would definitely read them. I didn't get the feeling that it was necessary to read Chicken Boy. But, maybe I will in the future. Mind you, Christy G doing most of this to herself, but her eyes now look crazy. No, you cannot judge people by their eyes at all. And you know what? One thing I've always wanted, I haven't seen it yet. Sorry, I've just gone off on a tangent. Is it true that there is actual... Hello there. Hello, DA. How you doing? Good to see you here. Is it true that there is actually now some recording of Brian speaking? Because I seem to have saw that whiz past my on my YouTube earlier today while I was in the middle of doing 100 things, or have I imagined it? Can someone confirm whether or not that we get to hear Brian actually talking or not? But the reason I was asking that is because I would like to see Brian, animated and talking, and just to get a gauge of what he's like as a person, because all we've ever seen is just still images of him, or walking from his cell to the courtroom, like there's been nothing more than that. And you usually get a good idea of what a person's like as soon as you see them. But anyway, sorry, yes. And has anyone got an answer about whether or not there has been something released about him? There's a video of him at BMW when he got his license. Okay. Plates changed, and he was very, very nice. Yeah. I just got the feeling whatever's been released was about him, the interview he had with, who was it that did the interview with him before regarding the plea, retracting the plea deal? Wasn't it it was a newspaper, or was it New York Times or something? I can't remember. Yeah, Jackie, you're right. I remember that video as well. But he was even then, he was questioning the police, and he was asking some strange questions, like what would you have done if I didn't stop, or something like that. I can't remember. Which, obviously people look at that and think, oh yeah, why, what? But it's because he wants answers to everything. You can tell his mind is just like ticking over all the time. Very inquisitive. That was over the phone, I thought, with the New York Times. So this is what I'm wondering, if there has been audio released of that interview that people can hear him speaking, or if all I saw was the title of someone's video on YouTube, and it's probably clickbait. So did he really say, has anyone else been arrested? I think something was said, but I don't know if it was those exact words. He may have said, am I the only one who's been arrested? Which is similar. Is it the same thing? But again, there's reasons why you would ask that, because it's a bit like saying, is there nobody else that's been, has nobody else come up on your radar? Is there nobody else been investigated? Is there no other, it's like, why me? There must be, because I'm not the person that did it. Haven't they found anyone else? I don't know. It's just obviously the way you think and the way you speak can be different. Stop it. When he got pulled over, his pushiness for answers was polite yet common traits for his autism spectrum. I worked for airline and several men like him before. Yeah, exactly. And that can be easily, misinterpreted, especially when you're dealing with someone you don't know they've got autism. It's not like you're advertising it. That was the moment he knew he'd been thrown under the bus. So many questions about the situation for Brian from the moment that not even the moment they arrested him, but before that. He was set up hook, line and sinker. I think he was set up a long time before he was arrested. I want to know more about the fact that he allegedly applied to Moscow PD to work there. Because he applied, did they have have everything they need to set him up that would have been recorded and saved? Did they have why would you, but did they have his fingerprints because he applied to work for the police? Maybe that is something. You're applying, we need your fingerprints because we need to trace any background. We need to do a background check. We need your fingerprints. That would make sense. If they have his fingerprints, can they use them? There's so many questions. Why doesn't anyone look on the dark web and see if there was footage of the 4. When you say the 4, do you mean the 4 victims? I suppose that's what you mean. I wouldn't go anywhere near the dark web. I wouldn't. Maybe at one time you could probably surf the dark web and find stuff like that, but nowadays I believe it's all child trafficking and kiddie porn, unfortunately. I don't think there's much more to it than that anymore. According to the News Nation correspondent Brian sorry, that name sort of makes me recoil a bit. When Brian Koberger was first taken into custody at his parents' home in Pennsylvania, he asked police if anyone else was arrested. Yes, and I've heard the same, which to me makes sense. Here comes Gunn. I hit the like button as soon as I see Sue's like, oh, I hit it on my TV and then my laptop. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Don't hit it too hard because I want you to damage your devices. Very good reading. Thank you, Tina. How are you, my love? Good to see you here. Dark web. Why would you won't? Yeah. Yes, welcome to the replay crew. Thank you so much for reminding me. I always forget. Welcome to the replay crew. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I am going to get into eventually, and I had to talk to Birdie about this because I was like, how does he do it? He obviously puts out his edited version of the live streams for every live stream. I am not joking you. I was like, how does he do it? Because I emailed him and I said, listen, you must use some sort of AI software that just does it automatically. And he says, no, I don't. I have to do it manually. I have to do it by hand. He said it is a pain in my ass, but it is what it is. So annoyingly, if I'm going to do it, I have to do the same. But at the moment, I only have 4 live streams a week, whereas I think he goes out 7 days a week, which is a lot. But then I suppose he's not doing private readings and zodiac readings as well. You'll get used to it. Yeah, like everything, I suppose. DA, are you still in here? I've got a question for you. Is he in here? Maybe someone else can answer if he is or he isn't. How many days a week do you go live? If anyone knows that's an avid fan. And yes, you may be shocked that I don't know that myself, but I don't get time to watch other people, unfortunately. Yeah, the fact Birdie's got a full-time job as well, guys. Like he does all of that and he's got a full-time job. Yeah, so I don't know, whatever he's taking, I want him to pass some along to me, please. Maybe his youth is probably got something to do with it as well. Oh, I heard as well, he's got a baby on the way. So cute. So cute. He deserves it. Bless him. Birdie's every day but Sunday. I'm sure that's going to be a good nickname for someone. Instead of saying every day and twice on Sunday. Every day, but not on Sunday. At least tonight Sue found out Brian was. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. I hope he's got that up his sleeve anyway, if he knows that that's a vital piece of evidence that he has. I love you and DA together. Very good mix up. Lol. Yeah, that nearly got out of hand yesterday, didn't it? It's me trying to take his clothes off. Terrible. Best chance. I do apologise to his wife, by the way. That wasn't intentional. Best chance for BK getting released is IDing the actual unalivers. He's not going to be able to do that though, unless he was there. And if he was there, he's also guilty. So, Leon first Sunday during the week. You didn't see that? Well, you have to watch it back then, Lisa. The live stream, it is up to be watched on the replay. So if you go to the lives, you'll see it from yesterday. Maybe you shouldn't. I wouldn't watch it if I were you. It's shocking. Eventually, someone who knows will come forward. Stop feeling scared. Do you think? Do you think? I don't know. There she goes. There she goes, ruining my reputation. Thank you, Tara. So, has anyone got any questions before I go? I think David B would crack. David B. I think I've only ever done one reading on him. And the fact that I've not felt pulled back to him, since then, I don't know. So again, there's pack mentality. So I think there's a lot of people involved in the whole energy of what happened. But then if you want to bring it down to who wielded the weapons, who actively, who are the people responsible at the ground zero kind of thing, is something different. Barry Ochoa, yeah. Loose cannon. The one I thought was more of a loose cannon than him when I did a reading on him was help. Oh, what's his name? Not Pete. Yeah, well, Pete, obviously, but there was someone. My brain has switched off. I did fairly recently in the last month or two. It will come to me in a minute. It's in recent video of David B. He's going crazy. He looks like yelling screw. Yeah, I saw that. Wonder what that was about. The video I'm talking about that I did a reading on was, and the thumbnail says something along the lines of in pursuit of Maddie or something like that. Maddie's, can't remember. See if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see. Playlists. Oh, another idea that I'm going to float past you guys in a second. In a second. Cole Barenberg. There you go. Found it. Cole Barenberg. Yes, it was, Kelly. He was a shocking reading. He was a loose cannon. Definitely someone that can control their anger. But we're talking about at the time, not recently. So the idea I want to float past you, because a couple of people have kind of questioned last week, questioned whether or not that's it now, and I won't be doing any more of my usual content, as in recorded videos. A couple of people thought they were missing out. It did make it clear that you can, if you can't watch live, you can watch back the recording kind of thing. But I do get that some people prefer the video format because it's shorter. You don't have to watch me engaging with people and they can't see the chat, that kind of thing. So obviously trying to keep everyone happy, and I never intended on not doing the usual videos, but obviously I can't do as many as I did. So I was thinking about maybe what an idea would be to put out a video on a Tuesday, and it would be the True Crime Tuesday reading. So anything but the Idaho 4. So this will be where I pick up other cases like Nolan Wells, stuff that's been sitting on my desk that I haven't got around to doing. What do people think? Thank you so much, Scorpio. That's super kind of you. Thank you. Exactly. When will I be doing another reading on Summer Wells? All of those kind of things, which would be, I can do on my True Crime Tuesday readings, which won't be live. They'll just be a recording. Does that sound good to people? Still keep up the Monday, Wednesday, Fridays and Sundays. Please read Mason Barstow. Yep, I think he's in the jar. He is in the jar, so might just do a random jar reading on Wednesday, because we haven't done that for about a week. Exactly, Nathan Gonsalves as well needs to be read. He's also in the jar. Let me show you the jar, by the way. Actually, this is the members jar, but it did make me laugh. I just thought my sense of humour. But any members that are here, you'll know that the members request jar is pretty full. So I had to swap out. I had to get a bigger jar. You probably can't even see this. So it just makes me laugh. I don't know why this makes me laugh, but it does. So, and I'm going to change this label. You're not going to be able to see. Hold on. But it says chicken bone broth. It's my sense of humour. Just anyway. This is better than any soap. Do you know what, Jackie? Talking about soaps, and there are people in my family that wouldn't believe this. I used to be an avid fan of EastEnders, never missed an episode. I didn't care what was going on. I did not care. I didn't care if someone was bleeding out. I would watch EastEnders. I can't remember the last time I watched it. I gave up on EastEnders probably the beginning of the year. How shocking is that? I don't even watch TV anymore. I must say I enjoy creating, call it that, much more than sitting down watching my soaps. Please put Israel Rojas into the jar. Okay, who is that? And are they related to, is it an Idaho 4 reading or is it something else? It's not a name I'm familiar with. I have been busy and I'm very happy to be busy. COVID, I stopped watching. So that's the wrong way around, isn't it, Jackie? Stop watching soaps when most people completed soaps during COVID. Riley Strain. No, I haven't. And the big one again I need to get into is Delphi. So all these cases I want to get into. And another thing we can talk about, put a reading out, even though it's not live. And then on the next live, we can talk about the reading, it's like Idaho 4. He's Idaho 4. Middle-aged man who partied with fraternities and is very questionable character. Okay. I can put that name in the jar. Kylie Rodney. Yep. What was his name? Israel Rojas. Thank you. It's going in. Rojas and Kylie Rodney. So this will be a new jar because I need to start a new jar, which is True Crime Tuesday. So I'm going to get a new jar that doesn't say. Why does it make me laugh? It doesn't say chicken bone broth. Means red in Spanish. It does mean red in Spanish. Rojas. Spanish. Red wine. Red wine. I used to speak Spanish. It's been a while since I lived in Spain. But anyway, if anyone's got any more questions, because I am going to probably wrap this up soon. Does anyone know the name of Xana's grade school friend whose video Xana posted a comment on at 4:12 a.m. that awful night? I don't want to dox her, but her name's out there. It would be easier. See, that's another thing. I don't believe that was Xana that was messaging people at 4, that was on TikTok and stuff at that time in the morning. I think she was already well and truly gone by that time. My opinion. Can you always practice? You can always practice your Spanish with us. No, because there's probably actual Spanish people here. I could tell you some funny stories about when I was learning, which I'm not going to do now. But yeah. Oh my gosh, I miss those days. I miss those days so much. Living in Spain, living the life, living the life in La Vida. What about Junior's wife, Olivia? Chronicles of Olivia. Weird to me, she found that guy's wallet. He was leaving a frat party, I believe, was some kind of convention of frats from. See, again, with Olivia, I've deliberately not read her because I don't think she's involved. I don't think she. I mean, I know at the beginning I was reading everyone because even if they weren't directly involved, they may have guilty knowledge. Exactly, Tara. Living La Vida Loca. It's not really. Not living a crazy life at all. It's just me and the cats. Crazy. He's been very good tonight, I have to say. Strange. Dago's doing a chat on her right now. It's interesting. So he's branching out and doing other stuff as well. Again, I don't. Whenever I see Dago, he's always doing Idaho 4 stuff. Another one that's the epitome of workaholic is Jules. True crime reactions. How many channels has she got going now? Like 4 or 5? It's a lot of work, and she's got kids. And spoke too soon. There's director. See what I mean? Sorry, I'm saying see what I mean because I just put out the Members Monday Q&A saying that if I think about Moose, he comes because we communicate. I nearly said psychopathically then. That's not what I meant. You know what I mean? The main picture of them all from that day was taken at the Whites. Yep, just to put that on that. I know. Exactly. It's very sus how Dylan posted pics. Yep, and we'll never know the rest. Yeah, because Kaylee also made me aware that that was not her that posted that pic of all of them on that balcony. Brittany Fernandez, is she real? And was that who DM contacted put in her phone? Again, I don't know. I don't know who this person is. This is relating to what Jeff was just saying, I think. I have 5 cats. Crime and Chaos, 5 cats. They sell, sorry? They sell poop in the UK. What? It's a must have. What do you mean? They sell poop. Don't tell me they're selling poop because I have loads of it. Trust me, I can make a fortune. No, no. According to what she told me, she did not post it. It was like a statement, that picture. Look at how well we all got on. We were all like the best of friends. We all loved each other. There was never any, you know, no, neither me nor Bethany could have possibly ever had anything to do with it. Look at how much we loved each other. It's just, I don't know, weird. When you look back at all of the other kind of, you know, social media history on Kaylee's phone, on Maddie's phone, and there was never any other pictures like that one at any other time. So why was that posted that night? But anyway, I know, yeah, she orchestrated the photo shoot. And there's also someone that proved as well that the clock, there was something about the timestamp or proving that it was actually posted at a different time to what's shown by looking at the original file. When you go into properties, it shows the actual timestamp of when it was actually uploaded. Don't ask me how they found that out. I can't remember. It was a long time ago that I saw it. But yeah. Welcome, Susan, to the replay crew. DM's the one that wanted the picture because the last time they would all be together for a long time. Exactly. This is like, sorry, it's like the whole Peter E saying, I was the last person to see Ethan alive. How do you know? How do you know? Is that not just landing yourself straight in it? Anyone that says that, I was the last person to see them live. Oh, were you? That's interesting. Yeah. Anyway, there's such a thing as doing in the future reading. Is there such a thing as doing in the future reading, like what will this case reveal 2 years from now? I could, it's something I could try, but what worries me about that is there needs to be some sort of, I need to have some sort of structure that comes from, which is why when you do generally, and maybe people work differently to me, but when I do a reading, I'll always have to do the present first, and then I'll move on to the future because it has to connect. So, and also because there's so many different elements, there's so many different people, there's so many different parts. I couldn't just throw cards out there and say, how's this case going to develop into the future? Because I could be picking up all sorts of different people, all sorts of different situations. I mean, I could do a reading on a person in particular, which is what I have been doing really. Like, how's it going to be looking for Brian in 2 years' time? I could do that. Yeah. It's, interesting though, because at some point I've got to pull all this together and make sense of it. But a lot of the things that I have read on are irrelevant, to be honest, even though we've picked up some shady characters, if you want to call them that. Maybe they're not actually the core detail of this case, and they can be, obviously, if this was an actual investigation, they wouldn't be disregarded, they would be heavily scrutinized. But the people that are the people, what we need to know is who was it that actually, carried out the actual acts on the 4 victims when it comes down to it. And the rest of it can be peripheral, can be let go of, it can be disregarded. And that's where I've got to work out, is untangling the threads, finding out which threads don't lead to anything, and deciding which ones do, which is a whole other thing, because this ball of threads is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's building and building and building, and I've got to untangle it all somehow. Somewhere, yeah. Bethany got there early morning. Yeah, I've always felt like Bethany wasn't there. She came back in the middle of it, and anyway, I'm going to call it a day, guys. Thanks all of you for being here. You're all amazing. And I will maybe start the True Crime Tuesday tomorrow. Making promises here. I should be able to. I think tomorrow's a bit of a lighter day for me, hopefully. So yeah, look out for that. I will put some suggestions in a new jar, and I will post it as I normally do. But thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to the mods. Thank you for all your help, Tara. You've been amazing. Thank you to all of you making this what it is. And welcome to the replay crew again. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Now it's time to play the intro, outro. And I'll see you all on Wednesday. Take care. Bye.
Footsteps echo down a hollow hall. Shadows stretch where the secrets crawl. A flick of light, a shattered glass. Truth buried deep beneath the past. Who holds the gavel? Who breaks the chain? Who hides the evidence? Who shifts the blame? Behind the badge, behind the smile, lies a ledger dripping vile. Redding stains and twisted ties, a house of mirrors built on a silent handshake out of sight. Justice wears a crooked grin. The game was rigged before it could begin. Whispers in the dark, they grow like weeds in places no one knows. Cover tracks erase the map. The innocent caught in their trap. Behind the back.